Hi guys, welcome to Nerd Bites, and this is going to be my spoiler review for WWE Payback. Of course there will be spoilers. I can't really do a review on a pay-per-view without telling you what I thought of the outcomes and everything, so of course there will be spoilers throughout this video, so make sure you go and see the pay-per-view before you check my review. There's one negative thing I will say about it: the promotion. All the stuff on the internet, on the website and everywhere, it's got the Wyatt family as the poster. Even on my thumbnail, if you check it out, it's on there. Now, the Wyatt family didn't come to this pay-per-view in any way, shape or form. Why would they? Because the Wyatts are injured. 2 out of the 4, the main 2, are injured. So, if that's the case, and you've had these posters up for a good 3 weeks, change them. Change them to the picture of the main event or something. Why are you putting the Wyatt family in and misleading people, especially casual viewers, to think that the Wyatts are going to be there when they're not? Take it down. It can't be that hard to change the posters. Just change them. WWE Pyback. It was a solid pay-per-view. It wasn't like amazing, it wasn't disappointing, but it was a good, solid pay-per-view considering it's just a standard pay-per-view. The kickoff show, 2 matches. We had Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Ziggler won, which I found a bit weird because I felt like they're trying to push this Corbin guy, and I quite like him. And at the point where Ziggler is at the moment in the company, I felt like Corbin needed that win. But if it builds up to something cool in Extreme Rules, then I'm fine with it. So again, let's see where this goes. US title match between Kalisto and Ryback. Again, it's on the kickoff show, which is, they're saying they're trying to build Kalisto, but putting it on the kickoff show isn't going to help that. It was a good match, it was a good solid match. Kalisto retained, which was good because, again, they need to push this guy. So if the rivalry continues, that's fine, but they need to be taking it off the kickoff show. Onto the main pay-per-view, and the first match was Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillains. Now, something happened here that was completely unexpected. I was expecting the Enzo and Cass to go over and win, which I think we all probably did, but halfway through the match, not even halfway through the match, a quarter of the way through the match, Enzo suffered a really bad injury. He hit his head on the rope and just basically bounced back, fell onto the floor, and just his eyes rolled back and he passed out. I mean, it was a really bad bump, and they called the match off more or less straight away. As soon as they had a quick look at him, they called off the match, and it was really quite a bad bump if you see it. They gave us updates through the entire night about him. He went straight to hospital and he's fine. He's got a concussion, so I don't know how that's going to play into Monday Night Raw. I don't know how they're going to carry on with this. I really hope it's a mild concussion where they can keep going, because the last thing we need right now is for Enzo and Cass to be put on the shelf, because these guys are white hot at the moment and they need to be in this tag team division. They need to revitalise it as they're starting to do. So I hope that he gets well very soon and that we can get back to seeing them in action. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn was next, and my god, these guys are just awesome. They just know what they're doing, they know each other so well, they know how to perform, they know how to go good spots. There's so many good spots in this match. They were just incredible, and I can see these guys fight forever, with a belt, without a belt, with weapons, without weapons. It doesn't make a difference. I just want to see these guys fight for a very long time. This was definitely the match of the night. It was incredible, really awesome. Owens went over, he won it, which was cool because again it builds the feud and everything. Going towards Extreme Rules is going to be really fun to see that. Owens was really cocky and got Byron Saxton out and talking on the mic about how awesome he is. He beat Sami Zayn. He's going to go for the Intercontinental, which was the next match. So he went and sat down in commentary for that match, and that played into that match. So the Intercontinental match was The Miz versus Cesaro. Again, it was an awesome match, and having Owens with that extra bit of flavour on the commentator was pretty damn awesome, to be honest. The match was good. It was, he was rolling quite well. I enjoyed it as much as as much as you can do. And then out of nowhere, Zayn comes back and starts attacking Owens outside the ring, and that's carrying on outside the ring while you've got the other 2 fighting inside the ring. Then they're up on the apron, and then Cesaro knocks them 2 over, and then Miz gets a cheeky win by pulling up the tights. So Miz is still your Intercontinental Champion, and it was cool because I expected his missus to get involved. Really, I expected her to be the reason why he would sneakily retain. But having those 2 get involved kind of in the match, and then you've got Owens beating down on everybody and back and forth and this kind of stuff, it feels like it's going to be building up to a fatal 4-way at Extreme Rules, which I'm totally fine with, and I'm hoping that Zayn or Cesaro wins it, to be honest. But Zayn, I think for the story, I think it'd be a really good way to fuel his feud with Owens. So we're going to see how that goes, but I hope that's what happens. Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho, solid match. It's very solid. These guys are just really good at their craft. They know what they're doing. And then Dean goes over, which is what was needed. I think Dean needed to win this because he didn't win it against Brock Lesnar at Mania, and that was a kind of lackluster match. Really, I was kind of deflated with it. and you know, his career is starting to go very Ziggler-esque kind of thing, and I don't want that to be the case. I want him to be at the top of the bill because he's so awesome. So going over Jericho is a good thing. I'm hoping that it will push him forward. The Women's Championship match, Charlotte versus Natalya, with Ric Flair in Charlotte's corner and Bret the Hitman Hart, first appearance since his cancer treatment, in Natalya's corner, which was good. It was a good match, and again, I'm really enjoying the women's division at the moment. I'm really going. The storylines are nice and simple and clear and fun to watch and everything. The only thing I would say is that they did their kind of own version of the Montreal screw job, where Natalya was not tapping, but they made it ring the bell as if she was tapping, and Charlotte wins by shenanigans or whatever. And it was a little bit weird to me. It's a bit of a weird ending. I don't know whether you should have recreated that, because it's not something that is necessarily a staple in WWE. You know, it's something that's remembered, but it's not something to remember for a good reason. So why would you want to recreate that, to be honest? But we got Natalya and Bret Hart putting the other two in sharpshooters, which was cool. I mean, I enjoyed that, but the whole time Bret Hart, he kind of looked like he didn't really want to be there, to be honest. But I don't know, I could be wrong. The thing between Vince, Shane and Steph about who's going to be running Monday Night Raw, it was a pretty cool segment, up and down, back and forth, this kind of stuff, and basically they're both going to be running Monday Night Raw, which plays into what happens later in the pay-per-view, and I'm hoping it will play into more things in the future. The main event, Roman Reigns vs AJ Styles for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Awesome, good match, really quite solid, really good storylines building up and down, incorporating different things and everything. Loads of really good spots. One of my favourite spots I think was probably AJ jumping from the ring, phenomenal forearm to Reigns through the table. I think that was a really good spot. Again, there's loads of other good spots as well. It took a while to get off the ground. First 5-6 minutes are just like they're just feeling each other out, and that was a bit kind of, come on lads, just get on with it, you know what I mean? But it got better and all that kind of stuff. And then they were outside the ring after that table thing, and he couldn't get Reigns back in the ring before the count of 10. He rolled in, and that was it. It was a count out, and I was like, is that really it? I was generally thinking that was it, and that shows the confidence from the WWE fans that we generally thought that was the ending of the main event. Says a lot. Shane comes out, which is a really good way of incorporating him and Steph now that they've kind of like both going to be running with Monday Night Raw. Then he says restart the match with no countouts. So then the match is restarted, you keep going with stuff, and then you get kind of a low blow, and that's the disqualification. And you're like, oh, it can't be anything. No, it's not going to happen. I know what's going to happen. Steph's going to come out and she's going to say no DQ. And it did. I knew exactly what was going to happen, but you know, I was fine with it. It was a pretty cool storyline bringing her out as well. They kind of got their little war going on and using themselves in these matches. I think if that continues, I'm fine with it. So yeah, no DQ, and the match is carried on. Gallows and Anderson got involved, beating down on Reigns, and then you got the Usos coming out, and then you got loads of spots and back and forth. Reigns going over the top and knocking everybody out. A few more phenomenal forearms, and eventually hits AJ with a spear and wins clean. I knew this was going to happen. None of us really wanted it to happen because we all want AJ because he's over as fuck right now. But Reigns, you know, I know he's the golden boy for Vince at the minute, so we know that that's not going to change at the moment. It'll probably change, I'd say, probably around SummerSlam or maybe after. But for the time being, he's staying as champion because that's what Vince wants and that's what's going to happen. So as long as they build up good storylines like this, then I'm totally fine with it, because it looks like they're slowly turning him heel. Very, very slowly and gingerly they're doing it, so I'm hoping that will continue. Overall, guys, WWE Payback was a solid pay-per-view. It wasn't incredible, it wasn't like the best thing ever, but by no means was it really bad. It was a good, solid pay-per-view considering it was just a standard one. And, you know, it had some really good matches in it, especially with Owens and Zayn. Epic match of the night, and then it had some good storylines, very clear, very precise, and it was, you know, it was fun to watch, and I think it's fair that I give it 3 stars. So that's what I thought of WWE Payback. What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments or send me an email. You can also find me on the various social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and moviepilot.com. Just type in Nerd Bites anywhere and I'm sure you'll find me. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share my videos. And of course, keep it nerdy.